Hi, everyone. So the next topic is management for data frames. So this is practically very important and a little bit complicated. Okay, so think about the data frame D here. So at first, we created 3 vectors, Chase, City, and Amex. This is the credit line given to 2 customers. So at first, we created 3 vectors, and we make the data frame D. Then, okay, so inside D, we have 3 vectors, but besides D, we have the 3 vectors. So we have basically 4 objects: Chase, City, Amex, and D. Within D, we have Chase, City, and Amex. So we have some duplications. So we delete the original Chase, City, and Amex. Now we only have D, and within D, we have 3 vectors. Okay. So now if we type D $Chase, then we can extract information from here. So Chase is 3,000 and 20,000. So this vector appears. If we just type Chase, we cannot get any output because the R cannot recognize what is Chase. The Chase is within D. So we have to specify the address of this object. But this is sometimes inconvenient because every time we have to type D. So if we attach D, then only just by typing Chase, we can get the information. If we want to cancel this, then we can detach D. Then Chase does not return any output anymore. Yeah, so detach is often used when multiple data frames have the same vector. For example, another data frame E has the vector Chase, then we have to distinguish it. So maybe you once attach D, but the detach D, then attach another data frame D or something. So this is very confusing part, and actually some researchers, statisticians, they never use the $, the attach function. Okay. So because it's a little bit complicated, so sometimes it's confusing and they generate unexpected errors. Okay, so next theme is how to modify data frames. Okay, think about another data frame D2. So D2 consists of the 4 vectors: names, Chase, City, Amex. This is also the credit line data for 4 customers: Andy and Bob, Chris, and Dan. So remember that the data frame can include different type of vectors. The first vector is character vector, and the other 3 are numeric. Often we want to extract the specific lines. For example, suppose that we want to extract the people who have credit line of 6,500 or 6,000 or more from Amex. Then you can use this subset function. So from database D2, that we want to extract lines which satisfies this condition. Amex is more than 6,000. So D2 becomes this. So we can confine the data set into a specific set. Sometimes we want to add some columns. Often, if we have 2 vectors, we want to calculate a function of these 2 vectors. For example, from height and weight, we can calculate body mass index. So we want to add BMI column. And here, we would like to add numbers in each row so that we can see the total credit line for customers, for each customer. So in that case, there are several ways to do that, but the one convenient function is transform function. So we can transform D2 by adding another column, chase, total, that is the summation of chase plus city plus Amex. Then you can get another column here. We didn't name it, but you can name this as maybe D3. Then D3 has the extended data frame. There are many other ways to do the same thing. Another way is at first attach D and we define a new vector total that is chase plus city plus Amex. Total is this vector, and we want to add this vector to original dataset D2. So we can use the cbind function of D2 and total. And we define this as, okay, so D3, then D3 becomes this. So there are several ways to do that, just in case we typed detach D2. Sometimes we forget how many times we attach the data frame or which data frame I attached. So in such a case, you can just type once more, then R returns an error that we haven't attached D2. Okay, so this is how to handle data frames.